So all across YouTube, you see videos talking about the long-term planning required for retirement and going into slow travel. Today, we're going to talk about something I don't see very much of, and that's what you do the last year heading into retirement. So stay tuned. We're going to talk about that. Welcome to the Groovy Adventures of Jeff and Sonny. I'm Jeff.
I'm Sonny.
And our Groovy Adventure is retiring and getting ready to slow travel around the world and everything that...
Figuring out how to do it.
Yeah, that's our adventure. So today we're going to talk about what we're doing this last year as we're getting ready to actually hit the road and retire. And so we thought that might be kind of an interesting topic to discuss with you. So the first thing you really have to do is figure out how much you're going to need in that first year of retirement. So what kind of expenses you're going to have.
So we figured out, what we're going to eliminate, and house-related items were one of them. So we are not going to have a mortgage any longer, which means we're not going to have house insurance. We're not going to have to take care of the yard, so we don't have to pay somebody to do that. We don't have pest control because we have some pests around here in Arkansas. So we don't have to pay for that, and we don't have to pay for utilities anymore, internet, and probably not any of that TV stuff either,
Right.
Any of those channels for that.
Right.
So
I mean, some people choose to hang on to their house and use it for rental income.
we considered that.
Yeah, it's a lot of hassle. We just figured it easier just to get rid of it and get on with our lives.
Yes.
Other expenses that you're going to lose when you retire and slow travel are auto-related expenses. Some people I know do keep their cars.
Yeah.
That seems like another
You have
hassle.
to figure out
we
where
don't
to
wanna do.
store it. And
Yeah. So you wouldn't be paying for insurance, obviously, maintenance, fuel, licenses and fees and taxes and all that stuff. So those are expenses that are going to go away.
And then we looked at our budget as well and decided what new expenses are we going to have. So we sat down and wrote those out. Things like travel insurance, which you can get through some credit cards have that. So you'd need to look at that and see. You can also get something called Safety Wing. Seems like a lot of people get that. And that's just travel insurance to cover you for any emergencies or accidents or anything that happen like that.
Falling off a mountain or something.
The other expense that we might have, new expense, is we're trading accommodations. We're not going to have a mortgage anymore, but we are going to have accommodations, of course. So we have to look at what potential things look like as far as costs go in different areas that we want to stay in. So maybe looking at Spain and looking on Airbnb, finding out what the average cost of accommodations there is, or Booking.com. Any of those places we need to look at and see. And then we're going to add travel related costs. So anything with relocation. So we're going to spend a month in one place and we're going to have to relocate to another place. So that's going to be a new expense for us as well.
So what we did was we don't know exactly where we're going the whole year, but we kind of had an idea, and so we sat down and we got on on Airbnb and sites like that, and just kind of mapped out where we might go, figuring out how much is it going to cost to fly here, how much is it going to stay here. So if you kind of have an idea of where you want to go, then you can kind of sit down and map that out.
The cool thing too is that in Europe anyway, the transportation like buses and trains is so much nicer and cheaper too. So
Right.
that'll help with that expense.
Right. So expenses that you're going to keep that will hopefully go down if you're slow traveling. Things like groceries, they're usually cheaper around the world. Cell phone, you can get the eSIMs and get a cell service in another country, or get a SIM card, and they're usually cheaper than they are here. Health insurance is cheaper overseas than it is here. Not that covers you here. That's expensive.
Yeah.
And all this stuff, you can find things on a website called Numbeo. And you can go there and check out cost of living in all these different areas. So once you kind of get an idea of where you're going, you go to Numbeo and you plug, say I want to go to Lisbon or Madrid or something, and it'll tell you, how much is a beer there, how much is, and you can compare it to other places to see what the difference is in cost of living between, say, what you're used to, say at home, versus, Bangladesh or something like that.
And then after we got rid of expenses and figured out things like that, we also looked at forecasting income. So we looked at, I think it's called My Social Security or myss.com. You can look there and you can forecast what you're going to get when you get into the Social Security. You can look at what you're going to get if you went at 62, or a full retirement, which is what,
67?
67? Yeah, 67. And you can put in what you might be making during that time. You can put in all sorts of different things. It's got a great little calculator in there that helps you figure out that. And then you can also have to figure out what you're going to need to maybe bridge to that. So something we're doing is we're using some of our 401k, IRAs, things like that, to bridge over till we can take the Social Security. And we've played around with the numbers that way too.
So, for instance, I'm going to wait until I'm 62 to take my Social Security. So I've got 2 years to do that. So we're figuring out how much money we're going to need to pull out to get us there.
Yeah.
The next thing you want to do is rebalance your portfolio, so it's less risky. Put it in some more stable stocks, so you're not having to worry about the stock market going down and taking all your money. And then you're going to want to run the numbers, and it's easiest to do that with a spreadsheet. This one here, she's good with the spreadsheets, so she set us up a spreadsheet, and you can punch in, how much money you're going to take out, what your expected rate of return is going to be, and all this stuff, and just kind of run the numbers and say different scenarios, how it's going to work out, and we've kind of figured out how much we can take out without running out of money at some point. And it's kind of helps set your mind at ease.
Yeah, it's nice to see that laid out. Okay, so if I took this much now, what am I going to have when I'm 97 or whatever it is? So
Right.
whatever you think you're going to move to. So then the other thing that we looked at was how to divert our money, moving money that we were putting into investments, now moving that money into a savings account, a high yield savings account, or a money market account, and figure out now that you have what the expenses are going to be, you can put that much money into that savings account.
Yeah. Once you figure out your first year's expenses, and instead of putting all your money into investments, which for that first year you're going to pull out, it's not going to gain enough. So you might as well stick it into a savings account that's safe, and spend from that for the first year.
And then I also think it's important to create a emergency fund so that you have enough money in there for the next 2 years, so that you know that you've got money there in case the market goes down, and
because
when you want to pull it out.
Most market downturns kind of last at max a couple years. Right. So if you have a couple years worth of income sitting in a cash account somewhere, and if the market goes down, you just pull out of there. But while the market's up, then you take out of your investments. Yeah. That's kind of what we're doing. Here's the big one we're working on now. Yes. How to get rid of all your stuff.
Stuff. Your accumulations.
Yeah. When we moved out here to Arkansas, we got rid of a lot of stuff. And we did it mostly with using Marketplace and garage sale, and it worked, but it was kind of a pain. With the garage sale, we actually did a donation model instead of pricing everything. We just asked for donations, and people paid us whatever they thought, and actually made more money doing it that way. Yeah. Unfortunately, some people just wanted to make donations and not take anything, which that's not the whole point of this. You need to take something. But it got rid of stuff. This time we're going to try something a little bit different. We're going to do an estate sale. And the beauty of the estate sale is they do all the work. They price it. They sell it, they haul it
Set up
out.
the tables.
Anything that's left over, they get hauled off to donations or whatever, and that's it. They take a 35% cut, but so far it sounds worth it to me. So
I feel like they're going to be able to make more money for us than what, because they know the value of this stuff better than we do,
yeah,
and they're going to get rid of everything. So
yeah,
which is kind of scary.
yeah. When we set the appointment for that, it was like, oh, stuff just got real.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
getting rid of our stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be interesting. It's about 6 weeks out from now, and we'll let you know how it went and what we thought, and we'll show you this empty house we're going to be living in for who
That's how it
knows
sells.
who knows how long.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be camping here. We do have a house sit lined up for at least a week, so I need a few more of those so
Looking for that.
so we can do laundry since we're selling our washer and dryer.
Yeah. Yeah. That'll be fun.
So yeah, so stay tuned for that. That'll be interesting.
And then some miscellaneous things that we've come up with to consider is take advantage of your PTO. Make sure you're looking at how much PTO you have, and make sure that you get it and don't lose it. I've been using mine and it took a bunch of time off so that, because I lose anything that's over 40 hours. So if I don't use it, then that's gone. So I'm making sure to get that done. We're also going to sit down and go to have our physicals, take advantage of the insurance that we have right now. Because once we lose that insurance, the insurance isn't going to be as good as what I have through my employer. Then something we should have started maybe years ago, a couple of years ago, is going through all of our photos. If you're younger, you may not have as many photos as we did. We had probably-
albums, we had envelopes full of photos.
I think we had like 4,000.
And those of you old enough to
Photos.
remember when you take your film in and they'd go, ooh, you get double prints. So we had double prints of
why not?
everything, and they're still in the envelopes. And
Yeah, so we went through those. We learned a lot about taking photos after going through those because we were like, oh, well, I don't know where this place
this is
is.
a picture of a tree.
It's a tree.
Yay.
So let's get rid of that. And we then sent them off to, we chose Legacy Box. Sent them off to them and they put it on
Bang
a,
the table so much you're shaking the camera.
And
Get
then-
excited.
excited. We shipped it off to Legacy Box. They put it onto a drive.
Now she's
for
banging
you.
on me.
I have to bang on something. And then they send it all back to you, and which is going to be really weird to throw away all those photos.
Yeah.
But had we started this a long time ago, it would have been a lot easier because now we're down to the wire and
Well, we thought we were done, and then we found another box in the
in the
garage
box
with like videotapes and stuff. It's like, oh, wonder
see
what's
what
on
those are.
these.
from the big camcorders. And then we also have to make sure that we have our marriage certificate, that we have all of our birth certificates and things like that. Some people, over the years you lose that stuff, so you've got to make sure you have that because you're going to need that for getting visas and stuff. So something to think about as well.
Yeah. Let us know if we're missing anything.
Yeah,
We've
please,
been
'cause-
thinking about this, and we think we got it covered, but
It's been keeping me up at night sometimes.
sometimes.
Like going through all this stuff. What do I have to do next? And what do I have to do? And scan this and do that. And so yeah, if we're forgetting anything, let us know.
Yeah. All right. Well.
Oh, and so that other people can get this information, you should like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you know next time we're going to
Right.
give you something up.
Perfect. All right. Thanks for tuning in, and we will talk to you next week.
See ya.
Huevos Rancheros.